I wanted to drop a quick video about last week's news that Tupac's stepbrother, Mopreme, has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Keffe D over Tupac's murder. And of course, Keffe D right now is awaiting trial for that murder, which is set to begin in August. So I was in contact with one of Mopreme's attorneys, Christopher Clore, back in 2024. And I can tell you he is very legit. Before going private, he was a federal prosecutor, and he actually worked as an assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, which is the same office that prosecuted Sean Combs, aka Diddy. I won't go into specifics about what we discussed, but Mopreme and his team definitely did their homework, and they found some heavy hitters and people that know what they're doing. And his team also includes high-powered attorney Alex Spiro, who represented Aaron Hernandez. He helped free artist 21 Savage after an immigration arrest, and he has repped other famous clients like Jay-Z and Elon Musk and Alec Baldwin and Mick Jagger and on and on. Because Keffe is about to stand trial for the same crime that Mopreme is suing for, what usually happens in this situation is the civil court is going to want to delay any civil trial that might come out of this until after the criminal trial has concluded. Criminal trials usually take priority, so the stakes just got even higher, in my opinion, for Keffe's trial, which is currently set to begin jury selection on August 8th. However, regardless of the outcome of that trial, the burden of proof in civil cases is lower than for criminal cases. One well-known example is O.J. Simpson, who was acquitted for murder, but then lost millions in a civil case to the victims' families. And here, I think Keffe D is going to be convicted, and if he doesn't make a deal, I think he's going to spend the rest of his life behind bars. I think, honestly, the only hope he has of going free someday is if he makes a deal, if a deal is even on the table. As for this wrongful death lawsuit, it doesn't take a big imagination to see that this is eventually going to drag Diddy into the suit. You may recall that back in 2024, this made headlines when Clore and Spiro were first retained, and the headlines about it were all about Diddy. And a People magazine article that came out a couple days ago claims that a source close to the investigation cited the Netflix Puffy documentary, Sean Combs: The Reckoning, and that they're interested in some of the people who were interviewed for that series, like Kirk Burroughs, and that there's outtakes of these interviews where they talk even more in depth and that subpoenas are coming. But there are challenges there too, because I don't know if it's different for civil cases, but in criminal cases, you typically cannot force a media company to turn over their raw footage. You can subpoena them, but it's up to them whether or not they want to comply. But obviously, Mopreme's attorneys know far more about the law than I do, so it'll be interesting to see where this goes. I think it's going to take a while for this civil suit to play out because there's all these supposed unnamed defendants involved, and they are obviously still collecting evidence. And of course, a lot is going to come out at Keffe's trial, assuming that there is a trial, and they're going to want to see, I'm sure, what comes from that. So it's very interesting, but if I was Puffy, I would definitely be more concerned about Keffe's upcoming trial in August than he may have been already. Because, of course, Keffe back in 2008 claimed that Puffy had offered him money for the murders of Tupac and Suge, so it's all going to be very interesting to see what happens. And you can expect more videos like this from me as Keffe's criminal trial gets underway later this summer.